My precious child, I am the one who formed the stars and shaped the depths of every ocean. I created you with infinite love, and I see the longing in your heart. I know how you struggle with questions that keep you awake at night. I hear your silent cries when you think no one is listening. My child, I am here. My voice is not distant, nor is my compassion absent. I want you to rest in my presence as you breathe in hope and exhale every fear. Let your spirit become open to my words of life, because I promise to fill your emptiness with abundant grace. If you feel a stirring in your soul right now, trust that it is my spirit gently drawing you closer to me. Do not doubt that I long to heal you, restore you, and renew the passion that you once felt slipping through your fingers. Listen closely, for this moment is not an accident. You are not reading these words by chance. I orchestrated each detail so that you might remember your true worth in my eyes. Whenever you doubt your identity, recall this unchanging truth. I am your maker, and I have never abandoned you. Even when you felt isolated from friends or betrayed by the ones you trusted, I have walked beside you. I have whispered encouragement into your heart, even when darkness tried to drown out my voice. Now is the time to open your soul and let me illuminate every shadow that troubles you. Do not be afraid to let the tears flow, for tears can be the doorway to profound healing. I count every sorrow and replace it with my everlasting comfort. Each dream you thought was dead can resurrect with the breath of my power. You have prayed, perhaps with trembling words, hoping I would hear. Today, I assure you, I have heard every plea, and I cherish every heartfelt whisper that escapes your lips. Remember that I see the entire canvas of your life. I see the vibrant colors that are yet to be revealed. Your circumstances may look impossible, but my strength is limitless. When every path seems blocked and every door appears slammed shut, that is when I pour out my miraculous solutions. Do not be discouraged if answers do not arrive according to human schedules. I operate beyond the boundaries of time, crafting a masterpiece that glorifies my name and blesses you far more than you can envision. I know you struggle with guilt. You feel the weight of mistakes that cling to your memory. My beloved child, do you not realize that my forgiveness is an unbreakable promise? If you confess your regrets and open your heart sincerely, I remove every stain that has burdened your conscience. Stop revisiting the places that caused you shame. Stop reliving the moments that made you question your own value. I have placed my unconditional love upon you, and no mistake can alter that truth. Cling to my promises. Let me cleanse the darkest corners of your heart. Step forward in renewed purpose and radiant grace, certain that I hold you in my perfect embrace. Pause for a moment and consider the dreams I have planted inside you. Have you set aside certain aspirations because the world told you they were impossible? Child, nothing is impossible with me. I fashioned the mountains, the rivers, the delicate petals of every flower, and I also implanted unique gifts within you. I intend to nurture those gifts so they blossom into blessings for you and for others. Yet you must be brave enough to believe. Let your faith rise like the dawn, dispelling any thought that shrinks your vision. Do not bury your hopes under layers of skepticism. Dare to trust that I will equip you to fulfill every purpose I have placed in your heart. Take a deep breath. Release the tension in your chest. Hand over the worries that you have been clutching too tightly. I see how anxiety has weighed on your shoulders, making daily tasks feel like steep climbs. Surrender that heaviness to me, for I specialize in turning burdens into testimonies of triumph. The storms of life may rage around you, but within your soul, I can speak calm. Hear my voice saying, "Peace, be still." The wind may howl, the thunder may roar, yet my hand reaches into the chaos to stabilize your wavering heart. If you feel weary, let me lift you onto higher ground where faith overcomes fear. You are not alone in the turbulence. I am guiding you step by step, even if you see only the next few inches in front of you. Sometimes, you wonder if people who have hurt you will ever realize the pain they caused. You question whether you will find genuine relationships that honor the beauty of your soul. My child, trust me to mend your broken ties. In my perfect timing, the hearts that wounded you may be stirred to repentance. If reconciliation is part of my plan, it will come. If not, I will still bring you companions who treat you with warmth and respect. I promise to restore every piece of your shattered trust. No tear has fallen from your eyes without my knowledge. Let go of bitterness, for it hinders the blessings I have in store. When you release resentment, you make space for my healing presence. Do you feel overlooked? Perhaps you think that your talents are hidden in shadows, unappreciated by the world. Rest assured, I see the brilliance that I placed inside you. If others do not recognize it, that does not diminish its value. I will open doors at the right moment. I will cause opportunities to surface. Keep nurturing your character, walking in humility and kindness. Let your motivation be love rather than applause. My ways are higher than human plans. Let me guide your steps toward fruitfulness that transcends earthly measurements. Even if no one else praises you, I celebrate the faithfulness of your heart. You are my treasure, more precious than any gold or silver. Allow me to speak life into your soul. You are worthy. You are cherished. You are designed to bring glory to me in ways that no one else can replicate. Raise your head, beloved child, and look beyond your current valley. I have a mountain of promise waiting for you to climb. Yes, the journey will have its twists, but I am the one who makes rough paths smooth. Keep your gaze fixed on me, and you will not stumble. When exhaustion grips you, lean on my everlasting arms. My strength never depletes, my mercy never runs dry, and my grace abounds in every circumstance. Watch how my power elevates you beyond your limitations. Receive my words of encouragement today. Everything that once weighed you down can become the very testimony that lifts others up. The story of your pain, turned to purpose, will ignite hope in hearts that are drowning in despair. Trust me when I say that no suffering is wasted. In my infinite wisdom, I weave every thread into a tapestry of redemption. Sometimes you only see the tangled side of the pattern, but one day you will stand in awe of how perfectly I arranged every detail for good. Let this promise spark a new determination in you to keep going, to keep believing, to keep standing on my truth. When the memories of past failures resurface, remember that I define your identity, not your history. When the world points fingers at your weaknesses, I declare that my strength is perfected in your vulnerability. When insecurities whisper that you are not enough, my voice thunders that you are chosen, loved, and precious. Embrace that affirmation deep within your spirit. Let my words uproot every lie that has tried to overshadow your true destiny. You belong to me, and I fight for you. I will never condemn you when you come before me with a contrite heart. Instead, I will lift you up and crown you with my favor. I want you to stand boldly in the face of adversity, child. Fear can paralyze your mind, but I want your faith to stand firm. I have given you the authority to speak my promises over your life. When accusations arise from people who misunderstand you, declare that you are my beloved and that my approval is all you need. When finances appear uncertain, affirm that I am your ultimate provider. When physical pain or emotional distress tries to break you, proclaim that I am your healer. Let your words align with my truth, creating a shield that wards off the arrows of doubt. Yes, you have endured seasons of confusion. You have questioned why certain tragedies occurred, and you wonder if there is any purpose behind them. Know that I do not delight in your suffering. My heart breaks with every pain you feel. Yet in the midst of anguish, I pour out grace. I transform sorrow into empathy, fear into courage, loss into gain. When your tears water the soil of faith, it yields a harvest of compassion and spiritual maturity. Others may not understand this process, but if you cling to me, you will see how I can turn your darkest nights into a radiant sunrise of new beginnings. Let that hope ignite in your soul right now. I see the way you beat yourself up when you stumble. You feel like you do not measure up to the standards you set. My dear child, let me remind you, my forgiveness has no limits. My mercy extends beyond your imagination. If you come to me with an honest heart, I will wash you clean. Then I will help you stand again, stronger than before. Do not allow condemnation to define you. Conviction of wrongdoing is different from shame. Conviction draws you back into my loving arms, whereas shame tries to drive you into hiding. Run to me, not away from me each time your foot slips. I promise to guide your path and keep teaching you how to walk in righteousness. Take courage and open your eyes to the fresh opportunities I place before you. The moment you align your will with mine, you unlock doors of possibility that once seemed sealed. Remember that humility is the gateway to true greatness. If you remain humble, I can trust you with greater resources, greater influence, and greater blessings. Pride distorts my gifts, but humility refines them. It is your humble heart that invites my presence to flourish in your life. I do not ask you to be perfect before you approach me. Instead, I invite you to let me perfect you by the power of my Spirit. Visualize the walls that once blocked your dreams. Watch how they crumble when you pronounce my promises with unwavering faith. Those obstacles that appeared insurmountable are no match for my supernatural power. You are destined for more than the mundane cycle of emptiness. I created you to experience abundant life, a life filled with my love and guided by my wisdom. Imagine for a moment stepping into each day with a confident assurance that I am orchestrating divine encounters for your good. Your life is a tapestry where every thread, whether bright or dark, weaves into a magnificent design. Trust me to finish what I have started. When you feel weighed down by regrets, fix your gaze on my cross. My sacrifice on that cross was the ultimate display of love. I saw you in all your struggles, all your wounds, all your unspoken fears, and still chose to lay down my life. Nothing you have done or will do surprises me. My love surpasses your flaws. If I deemed you worthy of such a sacrifice, can you not see how precious you are? I rose again to conquer the chains that hold you captive. Every stronghold of doubt, fear, or addiction must yield to my resurrection power. Let the reality of my victory breathe new hope into your soul. Lean closer to my heart, child. Can you feel how much I long for your fellowship? You are not a random creation. You are my masterpiece, and I delight in every detail of your being. When you praise me, it resonates through eternity. When you pray with sincerity, it captivates my attention. Yes, I govern galaxies, but I also treasure your whispered prayers. Each one is like a beautiful aroma that rises to my throne. Never assume that your words are too small or insignificant. If it matters to you, it matters to me. Let that reality transform how you approach every challenge. You never face trials alone, because I stand at your side, listening, guiding, and working all things together for your good. You might wonder, how can I truly connect with you if I have so many distractions? Surrender your distractions to me. Place them at my feet and ask for my help in reordering your priorities. The more you tune your heart to my voice, the less the noise of the world will affect you. Carve out moments of stillness, even if they are brief. In those quiet spaces, you will hear my whispers of love, instruction, and direction. Guard your mind against the flood of negativity and cynicism that saturates the world. Let my words dwell in your thoughts, shaping your perspective. You have the power to choose what your eyes read, what your ears hear, and what your heart absorbs. Invite me into those choices and watch how your inner life transforms. Cherish the relationships I have placed in your life. Be patient with the weaknesses of others, just as I am patient with yours. Forgive quickly, love deeply, and extend grace as freely as you have received it from me. I call you to be a vessel of kindness in a world hungry for compassion. When you reflect my character in your interactions, you become a living testimony of my goodness. Look beyond your own needs and notice the wounds of those around you. Speak life into those who have lost hope. Offer a helping hand to those who have fallen by the wayside. By loving others, you demonstrate your love for me. Yes, sometimes the weight of your own needs might feel overwhelming. You might think you have nothing left to give. But child, my resources are unlimited. If you lack wisdom, ask me, and I will provide it. If you are drained of energy, rest in my strength, for I never grow weary. If you are wounded, come to me for healing. I am the fountain that never runs dry. Fill yourself with my presence, and you will find that you have enough to pour out to those who cross your path. Let my supernatural joy become your strength, even in the face of adversity. Keep reminding yourself that my joy is not dependent on circumstances. It is a fruit of abiding in me. Some days you wake up feeling distant from me. You assume I must have moved away. But my child, I never leave you. Though your emotions fluctuate, my love remains constant. Even in your darkest nights, I am there, quietly waiting for you to realize my nearness. When shame or despair tries to push you into isolation, run into my arms. Let me reassure you that I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. I do not shift like shadows. Anchor your hope in my unchanging nature, and you will find yourself standing steady amid the most violent storms. My word is your foundation. When the world's opinions shift, my promises remain solid ground. Lay down every false belief that has entangled your progress. Perhaps you think you must earn my favor. That is not true. My grace is a gift, not a wage. You cannot purchase my love, and you do not need to compete for my approval. I gave it freely when I formed you. Maybe you believe you are condemned to repeat cycles of failure. Let me break that chain today. You are free in my name. Step boldly into that freedom, shaking off the shackles of your past. Trust that I have the power to sustain your victories. Lean on me moment by moment, and watch me conquer the stumbling blocks that once overwhelmed you. Above all, remember, you are never alone. In those nights when you weep silently and wonder if anyone truly cares, I am with you. In the mornings when you rise with questions about how to make it through another day, I am your strength. In the seasons when your heart overflows with gratitude, I am the one who deserves your praise. I walk beside you through every valley and rejoice with you on every mountaintop. The cross and the empty tomb stand as eternal reminders of my presence, my power, and my unparalleled love. Let that truth settle in your soul, filling you with an unshakable confidence. Right now, focus on the sound of my voice within these words. Let my hope saturate your spirit. You may feel that you have lost precious time, but I am the Redeemer of days, months, and years. You may have strayed or gotten stuck in regrets, yet I can bring restoration in ways that surpass human understanding. Trust in the wonders I can perform. If I can create galaxies with a word, I can surely breathe new life into what seems dead in your journey. Do not underestimate what my grace can accomplish in your life. Embrace this moment as a turning point, where your faith is stirred to new depths. Your heart yearns for clarity about your future. Child, I hold your future in my hands. The plans I have for you are good. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. In my will, you find hope. My timing might challenge your patience, but know that every delay is laced with purpose. I might be protecting you from roads that lead to heartache. I might be preparing you for greater blessings that require maturity. I might be teaching you to trust me fully before unveiling the next chapter. If you walk in step with me, you will reach the destiny I prepared for you. So do not fear. My perfect love casts out all fear. Let that promise echo through your doubts. Draw near to me in prayer as often as you breathe. Prayer is not a ritual to impress me. It is the language of relationship. Speak to me as you would to a dear friend. Lay out your worries, your joys, your confessions, and your dreams. Then pause and listen. I want to speak to your heart, to direct your footsteps, to give you creative ideas, to warn you of dangers, and to reassure you of my presence. Do not let your prayers be one-sided. Cultivate the art of listening, for my spirit is alive within you. In that stillness, you will discern my guidance. Consider the wonderful truth that you are part of my family. I am your father, and you have eternal significance in my kingdom. The fleeting recognition of human praise pales in comparison to the eternal inheritance you have with me. People may overlook you, but I see every act of love you perform in secret. Each small kindness, each gentle word, each prayerful tear sown in faith. None of these are forgotten. Store up your treasure in heaven, where it cannot be destroyed. Let your life be a witness to my goodness. Reflect my character in your work, your relationships, and your thoughts. By doing so, you allow my light to shine through you, changing the atmosphere around you. When discouragement tries to wrap its icy fingers around your heart, remember the victories you have already seen. Hasn't my hand rescued you before? Have I ever failed to care for you? Reflect on the times you prayed, and I answered in ways that made you marvel. Let gratitude become your weapon against despair. Speak thanks out loud for everything you do have, for every blessing, small or great. This attitude of thankfulness will chase away the clouds of negativity. As you cultivate thankfulness, you align your heart with my perspective, realizing that I am continuously working on your behalf. Yes, the world can be harsh. You will encounter negativity and injustice. But you are not a product of the world. You are my child. I call you to walk in love, even when it hurts, to serve, even when it goes unnoticed, to forgive even when it feels undeserved. The road of righteousness is not always easy, but it is profoundly rewarding. I am shaping your character, polishing you like a gemstone. Every friction, every trial, is part of this refining process. Do not resist it. Instead, surrender to my shaping hand. The more you surrender, the more you reflect my glory. Open your heart to receive spiritual gifts that flow from my throne. Gifts of wisdom, discernment, peace, and joy are available to you. Ask, and you shall receive. Seek, and you shall find. Do not settle for a life of routine, lacking spiritual vitality. Stir up the spiritual fire within you by meditating on my word and by spending time in worship. When your spirit aligns with mine, you become unstoppable against the forces that try to hinder you. You shine like a beacon in darkness, drawing others toward my love and truth. If at times you feel small or unqualified, let me remind you, I delight in using the humble to accomplish my grandest works. David was a shepherd boy when I chose him to defeat a giant. Esther was an orphan when I elevated her to save a nation. Moses had a speech impediment when I selected him to lead my people. Their weaknesses became a stage for my power. Likewise, I will showcase my power in your life when you trust me beyond your limitations. Embrace your dependence on me. For when you are weak, I'm strong. Together, we can transform the impossible into the unforgettable. Remember that my heart is gentle. When you approach me, do not fear condemnation or rejection. Even if you have faltered repeatedly, my arms remain open. I am your Redeemer, your Comforter, your safe place. Let go of the idea that you must fix your life before coming to me. Come just as you are, broken, confused, searching, and I will guide you. I specialize in mending shattered hearts, I knit each piece together with threads of mercy and unconditional love. Trust me to write a new story where hopelessness once prevailed. Now I want you to close your eyes and envision a clean slate. Picture every failure wiped away, every regret removed, and every anxiety replaced with holy expectation. I am extending my hand to you, inviting you to walk forward without the baggage you once carried. You do not have to drag the past behind you. My forgiveness erases the debts, and my grace paves a new path. Yes, you will still face challenges, but now you know you do not face them alone. I have promised to go before you, preparing the way. Do you believe me? Let hope rise like a sunrise in your heart. Let it dispel the shadows of negativity that used to dominate your thinking. I call you to a life that overflows with my goodness. Let go of the mindset of scarcity. I am the God of abundance. Let that truth resonate in your soul. When doubt knocks at your door, answer it with confidence in my limitless power. With me, there are no dead ends, only redirections that lead you to a more beautiful outcome. Let these words of assurance become your battle cry when you are tempted to worry. In moments of weariness, lean on the comfort that my spirit provides. Sometimes your heart becomes tangled with doubts, regrets, and sorrow. Let my presence be the soothing balm that untangles each knot. My peace surpasses human logic, calming the storm inside you so thoroughly that others will marvel at your serenity. You can trust me even when it looks like chaos in the natural realm. I command seas to part, walls to crumble, and giants to fall. Let that same power steady your mind when the waves of uncertainty rise. I invite you to a deeper intimacy with me, child. Do not remain on the surface, satisfied with partial revelations of who I am. Dive into the richness of my word. Explore the heights of worship. Seek me with all your heart, and you will find dimensions of my character that captivate you anew. My love is limitless, and there is always more to discover. The more you know me, the more peace you will carry, because you will realize that my sovereignty rules over every detail of your life. This knowledge fuels genuine freedom and joy. Take time to rest in my promises. Rest is an act of trust, acknowledging that I hold all things in my hands. It does not mean laziness, it means surrender. Work diligently when it is time to work, but also learn to pause and refresh your soul in my presence. I created your body and mind to function best when you balance effort with renewal. Remember that even creation had a day of rest. Embrace the gift of rest, free from guilt, knowing that you are not defined by endless striving. You are defined by my grace that covers you. Lift your eyes beyond your own needs occasionally and intercede for the world around you. Pray for your community, your nation, and for people in distress. As you carry their burdens in prayer, watch how I open avenues for miracles. Your compassion becomes a conduit for my love to flow. I can bring healing, restoration, and solutions far greater than any human government. Let your prayers breathe hope into situations that appear hopeless. Remember, the same power that raised me from the dead is at work within you, able to accomplish more than you can ask or think. When you see chaos and moral confusion in society, do not despair. I'm still on my throne. The darkness may grow, but my light is unquenchable. Let it shine through you. Do not withdraw or hide your faith. Let your actions and words reveal that there is a God who loves justice, mercy, and kindness. Your life can be an anchor for those adrift in the storms of confusion. Stand firm on my truths, and you will not be shaken by cultural tides. My word is a lamp to your feet and a light to your path. Let it guide every decision, and you will walk in my perfect will. At times you may face rejection or persecution for believing in me. Remember, I was also rejected, yet I overcame the world. Take heart in that victory. You are not alone in your struggles. A great cloud of witnesses, faithful men and women before you, endured trials yet finished their race with joy. Let their stories inspire you to keep running, your eyes fixed on the eternal prize. Life is more than the temporary battles you face. An everlasting kingdom awaits you, where tears are wiped away and sorrow is no more. Keep pressing forward, even when obstacles arise. Whenever you stumble on your journey, do not let the enemy convince you that you have lost my favor. My grace is not fragile. One failure does not nullify my purposes. Repent, rise again, and keep moving forward. The enemy's strategy is to paralyze you with shame, but my strategy is to resurrect you with grace. I will use even your failures as a testimony to show others that there is hope for redemption. Your scars will become stories of survival and transformation, pointing to my power. Let that knowledge embolden you to rise from every setback, anchored in the assurance that I have not given up on you. You might be unsure how to apply all these truths practically. Remember, child, I will guide you step by step. You do not need to figure everything out overnight. Take one decision at a time, surrendered to me. Learn to pause, pray, and listen for my counsel. Little by little, you will see your life reshaped by my influence. The transformations might appear small at first, but over time they will amount to monumental changes. Persevere in faithfulness, trusting that I see your efforts and honor your desire to obey. Let me shape you into a living reflection of my heart. Think about those who are watching you, perhaps without your awareness. Children, neighbors, relatives, co-workers. They observe how you handle pressure, conflict, and success. Through your actions, you either reflect my character or conceal it. Live in such a way that they see love rather than hate, hope rather than despair, and generosity rather than selfishness. You have an opportunity to be a carrier of my grace, influencing lives in ways that words alone cannot. This responsibility may feel heavy, but do not fear. I will empower you. Simply remain in me, and I will provide everything you need. Even if you have felt disqualified from my service, know that I have a place and a calling for you. Your personality, your experiences, your abilities, all these form a unique mosaic that I can use for my glory. Stop comparing yourself to others. I have a race designed specifically for you. Run it with perseverance, focusing on the tasks I have set before you. Surrender your desire for approval from others and seek only to honor me. As you do, you will discover a fulfillment that nothing else can replicate. I made you to flourish in your own calling, not to mimic someone else's path. The next time self-doubt rises, remember that I called Moses despite his fears, Gideon despite his insecurities, and Peter despite his impulsiveness. I looked beyond their limitations to see what my grace could accomplish through them. I do the same for you. I am not fixated on your flaws. I am invested in your future. Let that truth banish every seed of doubt. Let it ignite a fresh resolve to live boldly. Your life matters. Your story in my hands becomes a beacon to those lost in darkness. Trust me to reveal your purpose in the fullness of time. If you thirst for something deeper than fleeting happiness, come to the well of my presence. Drink of my eternal living water, and you will never thirst again. Human pursuits might thrill you momentarily, but my joy is perpetual. It sustains you when circumstances are bleak. Let this joy radiate from within, touching everyone you encounter. My child, you were created for lasting fulfillment, not for a cycle of highs and lows dictated by external events. Anchor yourself in my joy and discover the peace that transcends all understanding. Embrace your identity as my beloved. When condemnation tries to strangle you, remember the price I paid to set you free. Let that truth be an anthem in your spirit, reminding you that you are never alone, never forsaken, never beyond my reach. I am with you in every hardship, shining light on your path and guiding you to triumph. Believe it, confess it, live it out. As you do, you will witness the chains of hopelessness break, replaced by a bold faith that refuses to be silenced. Stand still for a moment and let my words settle deep within you. Breathe in my peace. Hear the steady rhythm of my love declaring, "You are mine." Do you sense the warmth of my presence wrapping around your fears? That is my gift to you, a reminder that I walk hand in hand with you, leading you to a future brimming with possibility. Child, hold tightly to my promises, for they are your lifeline in a world that often feels chaotic. When storms gather, cling to these truths. I love you, I am for you. I will never let you go. Even as you move forward with newfound hope, guard your heart diligently. Negative influences may still attempt to infiltrate your mind, sowing seeds of doubt or resentment. Counter them by filling your thoughts with the certainty of my word. Repeat my promises as many times as necessary until they become louder than the noise around you. When doubt says, "You can't," answer with, "My God can, and He goes before me." When fear hisses, "You're alone," shout back, "My God is always by my side." Let your declarations shape your reality. I am the author of life, and my voice overrides every lie. Look at yourself through my eyes and see the radiant reflection of someone I find worthy of redemption. Yes, there will be battles, heartbreaks, and seasons of testing. But through each chapter, my hand will guide you. I will use every detour to draw you closer to my heart. In your darkest hour, let me be your unwavering light. In your joyful moments, let me be the one who completes your joy. Surrender each chapter of your story to me, and I will weave it into a masterpiece that testifies to my loving kindness. Take hold of my words, seal them in your heart, and walk forward with courage. I am your God, faithful and true. I never slumber. I watch over you with love that never fades. As you absorb these promises, allow them to transform your life. Do not rush past this moment. Let the reality of my presence become the foundation on which you stand. Whisper a prayer of surrender right now, inviting me to flood every part of your being with my spirit. I have come to give you life, and life more abundantly. Believe in my goodness. Trust in my faithfulness. Lean on my everlasting arms, and watch how I turn your biggest trials into glorious triumphs. Yes, my child, I see your heart. I see the mixture of hope and fear swirling within you. Take my hand now, and let me guide you across the threshold of uncertainty into the realm of my promises. Even if the road is winding, keep your eyes fixed on me. My love will be your compass, my word your lamp, and my spirit your guide. No valley is too deep, no mountain too high, for the one who created them all. Together, we will journey onward, step by step, day by day, until you see the fullness of what I have prepared. Remain in my love and never forget, I am for you forever. I know there are questions you still hold deep inside, questions about your purpose, your struggles, and how to reconcile your greatest hopes with the trials you face. Remember that I see it all. I see what keeps you awake. I see what brings tears to your eyes. And I also see the hidden reservoir of strength in your soul that not even you realize you possess. Let your spirit open wider now. Feel my presence wrapping around your heart, binding up every wound you thought would never heal. I am here, my beloved, ready to illuminate every corner of your being. You might feel uncertain about the path ahead. Perhaps you stand at a crossroad and don't know which direction leads to the fulfillment of what you so desperately desire. Know this: I stand in your future, waiting with outstretched arms to welcome you into the fullness of my plans. I am not surprised by what's around the bend, nor am I taken aback by the obstacles that loom. I measure each challenge, weigh each problem, and supply you with exactly the grace and wisdom you need to overcome. If you lean on me, you will see that I am your compass. I do not merely give directions. I walk alongside you, guiding each step so you will not falter. My love is deeper than any ocean, higher than the tallest mountain, and it surpasses every barrier your mind tries to erect. Every time you question if you are worthy of my affection, I remind you, I formed you for a divine reason. You are crafted by my hand, unique among billions, bearing the fingerprints of my creativity in your very essence. Do not compare yourself to others, for I have drawn a special blueprint for your life, a design that carries a beauty all its own. Never doubt your significance. Your existence is a testimony that I desired you from eternity's beginning. When the storms of life rage, you might ask, "Where are you, God? Why are these winds so fierce?" My answer is simple. I am right here, holding you firm, ready to calm the tempest at the perfect moment. Sometimes I allow the winds to blow, so you can learn to cling to me with unwavering faith. Sometimes I permit the waters to rise so your trust in my power can deepen, shaping you into a soul who can stand strong even when the world trembles. Though you may not always understand, be assured that I orchestrate every detail for a higher purpose. My ways transcend your comprehension, but my heart for you remains undeniably good. Lay down your worries at my feet. You have carried them far too long, letting them weigh your spirit down with anxiety. Do you not know that I invite you into rest? When you choose to unburden yourself into my hands, you discover that my strength is made perfect in your weakness. You do not have to hold everything together. I am the one who holds creation in place, from the smallest atom to the grandest galaxy. Believe me when I say, I can hold you as well. Embrace my promise and let it become a shield around your mind. The same power that shapes the cosmos is at work to sustain you in every circumstance. Trust is not always easy, especially when past disappointments echo in your memories. Perhaps your trust was betrayed by loved ones or institutions you once depended on. Let me assure you, dear child, that I am incapable of betraying you. I am the unchanging one, the steady anchor for every soul who calls upon my name. Do not let human failure become the measure by which you gauge my faithfulness. Instead, look at the countless times I have reached out to you, rescued you from despair, and surrounded you with comfort. Let those moments be your reminder that I do not abandon the ones I love. You question if your burdens are too trivial. You wonder if your dreams are too grand, or your tears too insignificant. Know that nothing about you is overlooked by my eyes. Each laugh, each sigh, each silent cry for help is precious to me. I know every hair on your head, and every secret fear that lurks in the shadows of your thoughts. When you open yourself to my gaze, you do not find condemnation. Rather, you find a depth of understanding that surpasses human comprehension. Let that reality soothe every anxious question in your heart. I speak to you now about the relationships in your life. Sometimes you feel isolated or misunderstood. Sometimes you long for someone to see who you really are behind the outer walls you present to the world. I see you, beloved. I see the vulnerability you try to hide, the love you yearn to offer, and the acceptance you long to receive. Place your relationships in my care. Seek me in all things, and you will watch as I guide you toward healthy, nurturing connections. And if certain people have walked away, do not assume it signals your unworthiness. I remove those who drain your spirit and bring no growth. Instead, I will lead you to friendships that breathe life into your soul, teaching you more about my love and character. There may be challenges in your household, tensions with family, conflicts that never seem to resolve, or painful memories that linger like uninvited guests. Invite me into the center of those difficulties. When my peace settles in a home, it can soften even the hardest hearts, bridging gaps no human effort could mend. Pray for those who have harmed you. Release your grudges so I can usher in restoration. Do you trust that I can mend what seems irreparably broken? I assure you I can. My power to reconcile is limitless, but your willingness to forgive and let go of past bitterness opens the door for my transforming hand to work miracles you never believed possible. Do not be disheartened when you see turmoil in the world. Wickedness appears to thrive, violence erupts, and fear seems widespread. Remember, I have overcome the darkness. My light shines brightest when shadows deepen. Each time you choose to love in the midst of hatred, to serve in a world fixated on taking, and to stand firm in truth while everything else trembles, you align yourself with my eternal victory. No matter how loud evil roars, it remains inferior to my goodness. Align your heart with my word, for my word never fails. Even if entire nations crumble, my promises stand secure. Let that truth fill you with unshakable confidence. Your finances, career, and provision also matter to me. I see how you strive, sometimes feeling overwhelmed or stuck in situations where resources seem scarce. Child, I am your provider. Wealth is not your master. It is merely a tool I entrust to you for a season. If you handle it with wisdom and generosity, it becomes a channel of blessing. If money becomes an idol, it morphs into a prison. Surrender your material concerns to me. Ask me for the opportunities that align with your gifts and your calling. In the perfect time, I open doors that no human hand can shut, ensuring that all your true needs are met. I do not promise endless luxuries, but I do promise sufficiency. And often I surprise you with more than you expected. When sickness touches your life, or the life of someone you care for deeply, you may feel helpless and wonder if I have turned my face away. Know that I am closer than ever in those seasons of pain. I comfort you in every affliction, and I am still the healer who can restore bodies and souls. Healing takes many forms, sometimes immediate and miraculous, other times gradual and shaped by the medical knowledge I've allowed humanity to discover. And in certain situations, the greatest healing I offer is a peace that transcends all understanding, especially when a physical cure does not arrive as you hoped. Never forget that no illness, not even death, has the final word over those who belong to me. The final word is life, eternal and abundant, promised and guaranteed for my children. Listen carefully. If you feel trapped by habits you cannot break or sins you keep repeating, do not hide from me. Shame tells you to run away, to isolate yourself from my presence. But I invite you to run toward me instead. My mercy is beyond measure, and no chain is unbreakable when exposed to the power of my grace. You may have tried in your own strength to free yourself, only to fail repeatedly. Let me be your liberator. Confess your struggles, and I will infuse you with a new power to resist temptation and pursue holiness. Repentance is not a sign of weakness. It is the gateway to liberation. The world may point out your flaws, but I see who you are becoming through my sanctifying love. I also speak to you about your dreams. You harbor certain aspirations that have been on your heart for years, yet disappointments have piled up, making you wonder if they will ever materialize. Remember, I placed desires within you for a reason. It is essential to surrender each dream to my timing and my wisdom. Sometimes I delay fulfillment so your character can develop, ensuring you won't be crushed by the weight of answered prayers. Sometimes I realign your path because I see potential in you that you have not recognized. Trust me. Even if your plans must shift, the outcome I prepare will be infinitely better than what you could orchestrate alone. Keep believing. Keep working diligently. Keep lifting your eyes to me, for I delight in blessing my children with the desires of their hearts when they are surrendered to my higher purpose. Though you live in a chaotic world, let your soul be a sanctuary of praise. You do not have to wait for everything to be perfect before you worship me. In fact, your praises ring truest when offered in the midst of hardship. Praising me in difficulty is an act of powerful faith, declaring that I am greater than any adversity. Let your worship rise from a place of authenticity and reverence. and watch how my presence descends, wrapping you in a divine embrace that dispels every gloom. Whether in a quiet moment at home or in a gathering of believers, let your worship become a fragrance that warms your heart and changes the spiritual atmosphere around you. Sometimes you sense a call to serve, but you feel unqualified. You see the needs in your community or within your circle, yet you question whether you have enough talent, time, or courage to make a difference. Child, remember that I do not call the equipped, I equip the called. Your willingness is what matters most to me. When you step out in faith, no matter how small the gesture seems, I multiply your efforts beyond what you can imagine. Do you recall how a simple lunch of bread and fish fed thousands under my blessing? In the same way, your obedient heart, combined with my limitless power, can accomplish wonders that leave you in awe. Let every act of service be an offering of love, free of pride and full of compassion. Reflect on the significance of humility. In a world obsessed with self-promotion, I seek those who understand that true greatness lies in a humble spirit. Pride erects walls, isolates you from my grace, and blinds you to your own need for my guidance. Humility, on the other hand, is the fertile ground where my love flourishes. It keeps you teachable, open to correction, and grateful for every good thing you receive. When you posture your heart in humility before me, you access my strength in ways you never thought possible. Let go of the need to prove yourself to the world. Let me be the one who affirms your identity and values your worth. Do you sometimes feel a longing, an emptiness that nothing else seems to fill? That void is a sacred space intended for me alone. No relationship, no achievement, no material possession can satisfy that place in your soul. People try to fill it with entertainment, success, or even destructive habits, but the ache remains. I designed you with a yearning for my presence, so you would seek me and find my embrace. When you sense that longing, don't suppress it. Let it lead you into deeper communion with me. For in my presence is fullness of joy, and at my right hand are pleasures evermore. Hold on to hope. When bleak circumstances taunt you and despair seems like the logical choice, remember the power of hope grounded in my promises. Hope is not naive optimism. It is the confident expectation that I will fulfill every word I have spoken. You may not see evidence right away. The situation might even worsen before it improves. Nevertheless, keep hope alive in your heart, for I am the God who brings life out of death, joy out of sorrow, and victory out of defeat. Let hope be the anchor of your soul, so that when storms rage, you remain stable, rooted in the knowledge that I am faithful. Let me speak to the creative spirit within you. You might have talents you've tucked away, thinking they are irrelevant or unworthy. Remember, I am the Creator, and I delight in seeing my children create. Whether you paint, write, sing, invent, or organize in a brilliant way, each creative expression can become an act of worship and a channel of blessing to others. Stop diminishing the gifts I have placed in you. Bring them forth with courage and humility, allowing me to breathe life into them. Through creativity, you reflect a small portion of my nature, reminding the world that love and beauty are still alive. I also remind you of the power of gratitude. Make it a daily practice to pause and thank me for the blessings, big and small, that color your life. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, igniting a sense of awe for my provision. This attitude will guard your heart from resentment and negativity. Even in seasons of scarcity, there is always something to be grateful for. A meal, a friend, a sunrise, a new opportunity to learn. Let gratitude become your steady companion, turning ordinary moments into sacred encounters with my grace. When the burdens of life accumulate, you might feel a strong urge to isolate yourself from everyone, including me. Resist that urge. Isolation is the enemy's strategy to deepen your despair. Instead, reach out for my hand, and I will pull you from the pit of loneliness. I designed you for fellowship, not only with me, but also with others who love me. Seek a community of faith where you can share your story, pray with others, and grow together in unity. Yes, people are flawed and you may find imperfections in any group. However, I manifest my love in powerful ways when believers come together in my name. Often you wonder about my timing. You might say, "Lord, I've prayed so long. When will you answer?" I ask you to consider the process I use to cultivate the best in you. Much like seeds planted in fertile ground, there is a necessary season of waiting before the harvest. During that time, roots grow deep, hidden from the eye, but vital for sustaining the plant's future fruit. In your life, I nurture deep spiritual roots, integrity, patience, and perseverance, so that when you finally see your breakthrough, you have the maturity to handle it. Trust in my perfect schedule, remembering that I am never late and never early. I move precisely when it serves your eternal good. I know there are days you feel overlooked or invisible, convinced that your efforts are meaningless. Let me be the one who validates you. Every kind gesture, every selfless act, every prayer uttered on behalf of another is recorded in my heart. You might never receive applause from the crowds, but you have my smile, and that, dear child, is infinitely more precious. Live for my approval, and you will discover the freedom of not needing to meet everyone else's expectations. Let your life be an offering of love to me, content in the knowledge that I see and celebrate even what the world ignores. Sometimes you might think your faith is too small to move mountains. You read stories of miracles in ancient times or testimonies from others, but doubt creeps in about whether such wonders could ever happen for you. Know that faith, even the size of a mustard seed, can unleash my power in astonishing ways. It's not the size of your faith that matters as much as the greatness of the one in whom you place it. Fix your eyes on me, not on your limitations. Affirm my promises over your life, even when your feelings waver. Speak truth, even when your senses scream otherwise. You will learn that faith is a journey, not a single leap. Day by day, as you exercise it, you will watch it grow. Let's talk about purpose. You might assume that your life lacks a grand calling, but I assure you there is a divine reason you are alive at this moment in history. Your gifts, experiences, and unique perspective equip you to touch lives in ways no one else can. Your purpose does not always need a stage or microphone. It might manifest in your workplace, your home, your friendships, or even in the random encounters with strangers. Remain alert to my subtle nudges. Ask me to guide you, and I will lead you to people who desperately need the love I poured into your heart. Show them kindness, speak words of hope, serve them humbly. These acts, done in my name, are seeds that grow eternal fruit. Embrace the journey of spiritual growth. Rather than pursuing fleeting pleasures, invest in knowing me intimately. Open my word with a hunger to learn, not just to accumulate knowledge, but to transform your thinking. Let it confront areas of your life where old habits need to be uprooted. Let it encourage you when you're down and correct you when you're off course. Prayer is more than a ritual. It's a living conversation between your soul and mine. When you set aside time to commune with me, I will pour out revelation, guidance, and peace that transcends your daily struggles. In moments of fear, remember that I did not give you a spirit of timidity, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Fear tries to obscure my light, painting a distorted picture of the future. But my perfect love casts out all fear. Hold on to that promise. When fear knocks, answer with the conviction that I, your Lord, stand guard over your destiny. You can walk through the darkest valleys, holding my hand, knowing that I will never forsake you. Keep speaking courage over yourself, reminding your heart of who I am and who you are in me. I also want you to realize that every test you endure can become a testimony of my faithfulness. Do not hide your struggles. Your story has the power to inspire others who think they are alone. Whether you faced addiction, heartbreak, betrayal, or severe loss, your survival and eventual triumph through my power can be a lifeline for those trapped in despair. Share your journey wisely, letting people see my fingerprints on each chapter of your redemption. In doing so, you become a beacon of hope, demonstrating that I am a God who turns ashes into beauty, mourning into dancing. If you wrestle with condemnation, let me remind you of the power of my forgiveness. Once I have cleansed you, you are truly free. Guilt may try to linger, but it loses its grip when confronted with my truth. Walk in the freedom I purchased for you. You don't need to keep punishing yourself for past failures. The punishment was already carried by me on the cross. Embrace that reality. Let it liberate you to stand tall, not in arrogance, but in gratitude for the gift of grace. Each new day is an invitation to start fresh, unshackled from yesterday's errors. Sometimes the simplest acts of faith can unleash the greatest breakthroughs. A small prayer in the morning, a gentle word to someone hurting, a sincere act of compassion. These things might appear tiny, but I delight in using the humble and the small to accomplish the extraordinary. Never underestimate the power of simple obedience. While grand gestures draw attention, quiet faithfulness captures my heart. Look for opportunities to show kindness, for every seed planted in love is a testament to my kingdom's reality. You do not always need a spotlight to reflect my glory. Often, the soft glow of kindness is enough to guide someone toward my light. In your quiet moments, take time to breathe and remember who I am. I am the Lord who parted seas, who made a shepherd boy a king, who used a timid prophet to confront rulers. My might is unmatched, and yet my tenderness is boundless. Let me cradle your heart when it feels like it's breaking. Let me celebrate with you when you taste victory. In every season, I remain unaltered by circumstances. You can find stability in me when the world feels like shifting sand. Consider how fleeting life can be. Days turn to months, months to years, and before you realize it, entire seasons of life have passed. I urge you to value each moment, each relationship, and each opportunity to do good. Do not waste your days on trivial pursuits that drain your soul. Instead, align your choices with eternal priorities. When you look back, you will see that the real treasures were never possessions or accolades, but the love you shared, the character you developed, and the faith you nurtured. Let that perspective guide you, helping you discern what truly matters in the bigger picture of eternity. You are part of a larger narrative, one that extends beyond your personal story. I am weaving together countless threads of human lives, orchestrating a grand tapestry that reveals my glory. When you feel insignificant, remember that your thread is essential to the overall masterpiece. Perhaps you are in a season of waiting or healing, or maybe you're in a season of flourishing and blessing. Both are part of my grand design. Trust that I know how every thread intertwines. Have faith that one day you will see how perfectly all things fit together, even the painful chapters. Never forget that I am the God of second chances, third chances, and unending mercies. When you repent and turn to me with a contrite heart, I am ready to scoop you up and set you back on your feet. You are not relegated to a life defined by your worst moments. Through me, you can claim a radiant future. Let the enemy's accusations fall to the ground. Let my love define your worth, your potential, and your identity. Though your eyes may not see me physically, do not doubt my reality. I speak to you through my word, through the stirrings in your spirit, and often through the kindness of others. I orchestrate events in your life to catch your attention, to show you I am intimately aware of your circumstances. Nothing is random in my economy. Every sunrise that delights you, every friend who encourages you, every unexpected solution that appears just in time, these are reminders that I am actively engaged in your life. Accept these daily miracles with open arms. Examine your heart for any remnants of anger or bitterness. These toxic emotions can block the flow of my blessings. I know you have been hurt. I understand the injustices that have scarred you. Yet, I implore you to let me heal those wounds. Forgiveness is a process, and I will guide you every step of the way if you yield to my spirit. When you release the weight of resentment, you make room for my peace. When you forgive, you reflect my nature to a watching world that doesn't understand mercy. And with each act of forgiveness, you free yourself more and more from the chains of the past. Let me also speak to you about the power of your words. What you speak over yourself and others can either build or break. Words have the power of life and death. Align your speech with my truth and watch how it transforms your relationships, your own heart, and even your atmosphere. Reject gossip, negativity, and harsh criticism. Instead, speak with kindness and encouragement, reflecting the love I continuously pour out on you. Even in correction, let your words be guided by compassion. You will be amazed at how a single word of hope can redirect someone's life. I also want you to acknowledge that you cannot do everything alone. You may feel pressure to fix every issue, solve every problem, and meet every need. Recognize your limitations, child. Lean on me, seek the counsel of wise individuals, and learn to ask for help. My body on earth is meant to function like a family, bearing each other's burdens. Solitude can be valuable, but isolation can be dangerous. Let others into your life so they can pray for you, share your joys, and help carry your sorrows. Together you can achieve things that would be impossible in isolation. When temptation tries to lure you into old patterns, remember the price I paid to set you free. My sacrifice was not a trivial act. It tore open the veil that separated you from my holiness, granting you direct access to my throne of grace. Cling to the reality that I have empowered you to resist any temptation. You are not a slave to destructive impulses or addictions. Each time you face a moral fork in the road, recall my sacrifice. Let it stir gratitude and a holy determination within you to choose life over death, light over darkness. It is vital that you nurture your spirit with truth. Meditate on my word regularly, letting it saturate your heart so fully that it naturally overflows in your actions and attitudes. In a world where many voices clamor for your attention, my voice is the one that leads you to genuine peace. If you feel lost, my word is a lamp unto your feet. If you feel anxious, it is a refuge of comfort. If you need wisdom, it is an endless wellspring of insight. Approach it with reverence, expecting me to speak specifically to your situation. Reflect on the grace I have shown you so far. Every day, my mercies are new, giving you a fresh opportunity to walk in obedience. Consider how many battles I've already won on your behalf, how many storms I've helped you weather. Let gratitude for my past faithfulness fuel your confidence for whatever awaits you tomorrow. The same grace that has carried you this far will lead you onward. Even if the road becomes more difficult, you will find that my grace proportionately increases, giving you the stamina to press forward. Guard your heart from envy. It's tempting to look at others who appear more successful or blessed and feel a pang of jealousy. But child, you have your own unique race to run. I have set specific blessings and tasks for you, tailored to your growth and destiny. Celebrate the victories of others. Their success does not diminish the blessings I reserve for you. Jealousy clouds your vision and sours your spirit, robbing you of joy. Fix your eyes on me, thankful for how I've gifted you. Embrace your journey with contentment and excitement for the good things yet to come. Remember, life on earth is but a vapor, a brief prelude to the eternity I've prepared for you. Let that perspective shape how you live. If you cling too tightly to temporary gains, you risk overlooking treasures that last forever. Love extravagantly, serve selflessly, and worship wholeheartedly. Live each day as an investment in what truly matters. In due season, you will reap a harvest of joy and everlasting fulfillment. Don't let the fleeting distractions of this world rob you of the eternal inheritance that I long to share with you. I see you as my precious work of art, molded by my hands, and I delight in calling you my child. Even when you stumble, I do not recoil in disgust. Instead, I extend my hand, ready to lift you again. This is my heart, to walk with you, teach you, and transform you from the inside out. You are never too broken, never too far gone, never too ordinary for me to use. Take courage in the knowledge that your life has significance beyond your imagination. Step forward in faith, trusting that I guide and empower you with my Holy Spirit. When anxiety threatens to engulf you, call on my name. Speak it with conviction, for my name holds power. In times of turmoil, let your lips utter my promises. Declare that you are not forsaken, that you are more than a conqueror, and that no weapon formed against you will prosper. By proclaiming my truth, you align your heart with my divine reality, forcing fear to retreat. Even if you have to repeat it multiple times in a day, do so with unwavering resolve. My truth does not waver according to circumstances. It stands firm for all eternity. I encourage you now to rest. Yes, rest, both physically and spiritually. Your body is a temple I have entrusted to you, and it needs restoration. Likewise, your spirit benefits from periods of stillness in my presence. Put aside your to-do lists and the incessant demands of daily life to find solace in me. Resting is not laziness, it is an act of trust. In rest, you acknowledge that your achievements do not define you, and you open the way for me to replenish your soul. In that quiet space, you will rediscover my voice, gently reminding you of who you are and whose you are. Let this moment be a marker in your journey, a sacred time when my words sink deep into your core, altering your perspective on life. You may not recall every phrase, but my spirit will imprint truths upon your heart. In the days to come, when you face confusion or discouragement, I will bring these words back to your memory. They will rise like a beacon in the darkness, guiding you safely to my peace. You are enveloped in my love, carried by my strength, and cherished beyond measure. Allow this awareness to become the melody that resonates throughout your entire being. Let it shape your thoughts, your decisions, and your interactions. Even the smallest step taken in faith aligns you more closely with my purpose. Cling to me as the source of your life, the anchor in every storm, and the King who reigns in immeasurable majesty. I am the one who loves you without limits, the one who knows you fully, yet chooses you still. You never walk alone, child, for I am with you always. Let your soul inhale hope and exhale any residue of fear. May each breath remind you of my sustaining power. Let your heart melt under the warmth of my love, and let your mind find clarity in the brightness of my truth. No matter how far you have wandered or how fragile you may feel, remember that I draw near the brokenhearted. You are my beloved treasure, the apple of my eye, the one I hold so close that nothing can snatch you away. Let these words settle in you as a firm foundation, an unbreakable promise. You are mine, and I am endlessly devoted to you. Yes, hold these truths close. Let them be your comfort at midnight and your guide at dawn. By the power of my spirit, every chain can be broken, every wound can be healed, and every valley can become a place of revelation. You are destined for more than you can conceive because my power works mightily within you. Embrace this destiny with courage, humility, and steadfast faith. Live in the fullness of my love, reflecting my grace to a world that needs to see that hope and redemption are not just words, but living realities. And as you walk this path, always remember, I am here. I have spoken my words to uplift your spirit and confirm my everlasting commitment to you. Take them to heart and watch how your life blossoms under my care. I love you profoundly with a boundless affection that will never, ever let go. Amen.